Hi, this is Jason Anderson, founder of PreVeteran, and welcome back to our PreVeteran YouTube channel. This week, we're going to be talking about the digital tightrope you may not even know that you're on, both sides being controversial posting and then also digital avoidance, both sides being completely treacherous. So after you watch this video, you'll be aware of those two sides, and then at the end of the video, we'll give you an offer that can hopefully get you over that digital nuance and get you on your way to a successful military transition. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to this channel so when new videos come out, you'll be notified. It's the little red button at the bottom right part of this video here. So with that in mind, let's get started on the video. To get things started, let's look at the background. And for those of us Gen Xers out there, it's really hard to overstate how much things have changed in the past 30 years. Who would have known, going back to the 90s or even the early 2000s, that there'd be this massive convergence of data-hungry tech companies with individuals who post about their lives online. Yet here we are. And believe it or not, this has a huge impact on your military transition, specifically if you want to become an employee. So let's go through both sides, one at a time, of the digital tightrope, the first being controversial posting, and the next being digital avoidance. Both are treacherous, and you have to be wary of both as you go into your military transition. The first side of the digital tightrope is controversial posting. After some thought, I landed on the word controversial because I think it's very apropos for the world we live in today. And obviously a big factor in that is social media. And I guess we have to kind of acknowledge that social media is really deliberately designed to enact or to stimulate the emotional part of our human being. And if you kind of take a step back at social media and look at it, it's really hard to not come up with that conclusion. If you're talking about a tweet, it's 140 characters. If you're talking about a Facebook post, it's a little bit more than 63,000 characters. With that little bit of time and without any context in the post, do you really think we're going to accomplish anything meaningful in social media? I argue the answer is no. And I also argue, kind of extending that out further, this becomes one of the things that keeps us more deeply divided as a country as we're moving forward. And I bring this up for one important reason. In this current environment that we're in right now, even if you're posting something and you don't think it's controversial, other people get a vote. And you can see that open in full display with our cancel culture right now. So I'm bringing this up to you because as a future employee, be rest assured that your future employer is going to be looking at your social media feeds to see if there's anything there that might be considered very controversial. Again, while you may not feel it's controversial, if it happens to land on any part or can be interpreted politically by any way, one half of the population will support you while the other half will not support you. And that could cause you a job. So the question is, are you willing to risk that for future employment? Are you willing to risk putting that post out there that could be controversial or interpreted as political, and then essentially make your chances in the workplace after you leave the military the essence of a flip of a coin, where half of the people want to hire you and the other half will not consider you simply because of what they perceive as activism on social media? Okay, the other side of the digital tightrope is digital avoidance. And it's every bit as treacherous as being someone who is controversially posting online. So digital avoidance happens when perhaps in the military you've been told by different security briefings or something else that you don't want to get personal information out there because it might get in the hands of an enemy. It might put yourself or your unit in a compromised position for operations. Any one of those things kind of entices you to not participate fully or participate at all in the new digital world. And this is treacherous because, as we've discussed in other videos and on other blogs, the digital world is here and you have to participate in it because, you know what, if you're talking about employment, your employer will be online and they'll do their sourcing of talent through digital means, whether it's through a service like Indeed or whether they're doing their talent sourcing through something like LinkedIn. So there's really no option for you to digitally avoid in this new world. And this is why we created PreVeteran. We understand this digital nuance and we understand it's very confusing to you as you get ready for your military transition and also post-military employment preparation. So we have an offer for you right now that we kind of mentioned earlier in the video, but this kind of training is baked into all of our courses. And our course right now, say on the website, is our employment prep course. You go there by navigating to PreVeteran.com and then going to the courses page. Now, the real benefit here to you is not only does it tell you how to be more effective online and making sure you're avoiding these different kind of nuances and challenges on both sides of the tightrope, but it actually sets you up for post-military employment success because it tells you about the private sector's needs and wants. And then when you know the needs and wants, you can better articulate your value to that profit-making enterprise, thereby making you a much more successful, or giving you much more successful outcomes as you prepare for post-military employment. Okay, we've reached the end of our video. We hope you enjoyed this video that discussed the digital tightrope that you're on and you might not even be aware of, where both sides are treacherous. The first side being controversial posting, the other side being digital avoidance. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you wouldn't mind leaving a comment, or if you have questions, feel free to reach out anytime, and we will see you next week with our new video.